Okay, so good evening, guys. We just start the class now. So yesterday we saw that we have to done with the system setup for a few students for Kusala and Srinivas and then Jeevan and Balu. So I think you both guys have done with your system setup now. So after that, yesterday I told you what is access key, secret key, and what is public key, private key. I think you have some understanding about what is the key definitions and why we are using that keys. So today, Kusala Srinivas, you can just share your screen and open your Git Bash and your GitLab console also. Okay. So once you open, we can view your keys, and I can tell you that what is the key purpose and why are you just connected the keys with the GitLab and you're stored in your Git Bash, and then you're generating from AWS and some of the remote machines, right? So I will tell you the relationships between why you have creating that and generating the particular keys, and why we are using that, and by integrating that keys to your Git Bash terminal, to your local, to remote machines. So what is the basic connection and what is the basic relationships that you're going to integrate your keys, and what is the purpose of we doing that? All the things can be discussed today. Okay. Okay. So your Git Bash is ready now. Go to your Chrome and open your GitLab console. Okay. So just go to the Git. Just click on that GitLab icon. Yeah. Okay. Here you have created your first project, right? AWS TF VPC EC2. Okay, great. So you have generated four keys. One is SSH keys, that is nothing but your public and private key, and another thing is your access key and secret key that you have been generated from your IAM user with the help of your AWS account. Okay. So what is the purpose of generating access key and secret key, and why you have to just copy that things and you have to integrate that particular credentials to your Git Bash, and then you're putting that same variables to your GitLab console. So do you guys have any idea about why we are generating that, and why we are just pasting the things, storing the variables in different consoles? So what is the purpose of that? Any idea?
Go from authentication for every time. It will be prompt for every time the authentication.
Okay, Srinivas, can you be little loud?
Yeah. So
Okay, so what is the purpose of we are integrating the keys? You can just try to give some related answers also.
Okay, that is related to, to secure our keys, right? So
Yeah,
we cannot share anyone with our, we can share our private things, but sorry, we can share our public key things, but we cannot share the private things, right? So all the information we are going to, put in one variable, and we are sharing that variable name.
okay, so that is one point of the way we are just storing somewhere our credentials. Okay, so what is the main thing?
To connect, the plan is that to maintain our things, right?
Yeah,
So, to get some connection between, our AWS server and Git.
exactly. So you're very you guys have some understanding, a very good understanding about the concept. So we have to communicate with the remote service, right? So we have our Git Bash terminal, that is our local. So whatever we are just doing here is we are just having that bridge connection between our local to remote service or to your host service. Okay. So host service is nothing but that is like your GitLab console or AWS console or Docker. So these are all called your remote machine, remote service or host service. Okay. So whatever you're doing with your Git bash terminal, that is what called your local term. So from local, you want from using the one tool called Git Bash terminal, and you're going to communicate with the entire tools, or you have to communicate with the different various tools. Means that is what we are just connecting with the credentials and things. Okay. So basically, you creating a bridge to communicate with the GitLab console or to communicate with the AWS console. So how you achieving this? You just creating your AWS credentials and you're just storing that into your Git Bash so that you will be having that communication between your AWS account and to your local. Okay. So from local, you can able to communicate with your AWS. So the second thing, if you just go and add your nothing but if you add the access key and secret key, you will be going to get the credentials to access into your AWS account. If you want to do any actions like read operation, write operations, do you want to describe the EC2 instances, or you want to create an EC2 instance, create S3 bucket for creating resources or updating things, modifying the resources. Resources is nothing but your AWS services. Okay. So AWS is providing you 200 plus services. Inside that, you will be having very popular services called EC2, VPC, and then S3, storage, EBS. So there are many services that is very popular, and you guys will be using that in your regular basis also. So so now nowadays we are just doing everything in automation manner, and also we are not communicating in the UI for every time. Okay, if you can use that, but most of the times, and the DevOps engineers will always concentrate on automation things, and then troubleshooting, and then the collaboration and infra creation. Okay, so back to the point. Resources is nothing but your AWS services like VPC, EC2. If you want to create the resources, if you want to edit whatever things or the modifications you want to do, you can able to do that from your Git bash terminal to the AWS account. So what will be the thing you will be using here? Using AWS CLI. So CLI is nothing but command line interface. Okay, if you want to communicate with GitLab, means you will be giving Git commands, right? So I will be very simple here. So what will you do if you open your terminal? We will be doing with some Linux commands, right? To communicate with your own system or laptop. So if you want to create a folder, if you want to create a file, or if you want to describe or list the files, you will be going to give all the commands in the form of Linux. Okay, you will be giving CD commands, you will be giving mkdir commands, like that you will be providing some commands to get the actions has to be done there. Okay, so like this point, you will be going to use AWS CLI to just giving the commands to access into your AWS account. Okay, to create your resources. And like for Git Bash, sorry, for GitLab, you will be using Git CLI. So in the Git Bash terminal, you will be using git add, git commit, or git configuration. So that commands will be going to communicate with your GitLab console. So is this clear, guys? What is CLI? What is UI? Or how it has been working through? So how can we achieve by integrating the keys? And what is the purpose of integrating things? So do you guys have the understanding about this basics?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll question again. So, what is the purpose of creating access key and secret key?
Service, cloud service.
What Srinivas?
To communicate AWS service.
Exactly. So, what is the purpose of you having um, public key and private key?
So public is for like it is
That is to get the secure shell. So SSH login, to get the achievement of SSH login, you using that SSH keys, which is nothing but public key and private key to log in into your instances or service. Okay. If you have your EC2 instance, you want to, how will you log in into your EC2 instance? One thing, you can just go to your AWS console and you can achieve that through clicking on the things like you can use the GUI model. Okay, from using the UI, you're going to just drag and click and going to give the configurations. And the second thing, you will be using your terminal. Terminal is nothing but your Git bash. So you using your Git bash to just you want to have the work done, right? So one thing you will be going with UA, and another thing you will be going with CLI method. So command line interface. Through commands, you're going to achieve the things that you want to make it, okay, or that you want to create, like that. So public key and private key is nothing but public key is like a username and private key is like a password. So your username, your like your public see, if you're creating your EC2 instance, that you will be going to provide your private key there. Okay, so what will be the public keys action? It will be stored on your host server. Okay, so which is nothing but I'm going to create a EC2 instance now. Okay, so my public key will be stored on that EC2 instance is itself. Okay, so how will you just achieve that? How will you or decrypt that key? You will be going to put the exact match of the private key. Okay, so the public key and private key is like a combination. If it doesn't match, it will be not have a good handshake and you will not able to log in into your EC2 instance. Once the public key and private key matches, then only you can able to log in your EC2 instance. Is that clear?
So these are created inside the EC2.
Actually, your voice is low, Srinivas. Can you be loud?
These keys are created inside the EC2, right?
Yeah, so once you created your EC2 instance, your public key will be copied to your EC2 instance, to your host server. Okay, you only have your private key on your hand. Okay, you will be having your password in your hand, unlike your username or your public key will be copied and pasted on your EC2 instance. Once your private key matches the public key, then only you can able to log in into your EC2 instance. Okay. Okay, so now just open your AWS console. Second tab, your AWS console, right? Yeah, just sign into the console.
So it is already signed in.
Yeah, okay. Just click on EC2 instance. Sorry, just click on EC2 icon. Yeah, just click on that. So before going to this console, I will tell you a simple introduction about what is EC2. Okay. So do you guys have any idea about what is EC2?
No, sir.
Okay, so EC2 is nothing but it's like your virtual server. Okay, so we will be having our PC and laptop here, right? That is what your physical machine. You can able to touch that machine. You can able to see that your own particular laptop. But if something that is created on cloud and you're going to use that particular server to your applications or to your requirements, you can able to just rent the virtual machine from the AWS cloud. Okay, you can just go to the EC2 instance and you can create your own virtual machine and you can rent your own virtual machine which is provided by AWS. Is that clear? Okay. So, which is nothing but you will be creating what to say, if you see your laptop, that is your physical thing. If you couldn't see, that is what called virtual. Okay, the same how you using your laptop, like the same you're going to use one particular server, but you cannot see that server because it is only available on online. So which is providing by AWS EC2 service, that you can create and customize your EC2 instance according to your requirement, your storage, your security, and what are the things you want to configure, you can able to configure that. And if you want to just increase anything, or do you want to do any operations to your EC2 instance, like I want to add more instances, or I want to just control the traffic or control the explicit access, or what are things you want to customize and do to your own applications, you can able to achieve that by the EC2 instances and its services. Okay, just click on launch instance. If you want to create your first virtual machine, you have to click on launch instance, and then you will be going to give the no. In the right hand side, you can see that yellow box, right? Launch instance. Yeah, just click on that. Okay, so here you can see the first thing of launching your instance, you should name your server. Okay, you can give any name like my server, or this is my first server, or my web server, like that. Any name you can give. You can give my hi. Okay, web server. Okay, done. Perfect. The naming should be, you should not give any gaps, or you should not be any white spaces in between that. You can give hyphen, or else you can give underscore. Okay, this is fine. This is very good actually. So scroll down. So the very next thing you will be going to configure is your OS. Okay, so what type of OS or operating system that your machine should be in. If you want Ubuntu, you can click on Ubuntu. If you want Linux, you can go with Linux, Red Hat, SUSE, whatever the OS you want to that you require for your project, you can click on that. Here we'll be just leaving it as a Amazon Linux itself. Okay, scroll down. So see, here you can see the Amazon machine image, right? AMI, which is nothing but your operating system, right? Your OS's machine image is this. You can see the AMI ID in, yeah, you can see a little down, you can see that architecture, boot mode, AMI ID, right? So this is what your Amazon Linux AMI ID. Okay. So scroll down. Okay, T2 micro is fine because we are going with free tier eligible things only. So it is good. See, in T2 micro, you can see you will be having one virtual CPU and then 1 GB memory. Okay. If you want to increase, you can able to click on the instance type and you can increase according to your requirement. Or else in future, if you want to add volume means you can able to do that by the service called EBS also. Okay. So whatever things you want to do to your application, you can easily play with the AWS services. Okay. Scroll down. Okay, here is the main character keypad. Okay, so what is keypad here? You can read that you can use a keypad to securely connect to your EC2 instance. Okay, so that is what the first line. So which is nothing but it is like a login credentials to your EC2 instance. Without the login credentials, it is not safer to use an instance. So anybody can hack your instance. Nothing, anything can happen to your data. Somebody can hack and some misconfigurations can be done. So always you should create a private key or you can go with the key pair process. Okay, just click on the create new pair. Scroll down, scroll down. EC2 user is your username. Okay, so Amazon Linux you have created, right? So for Amazon Linux, you will be your username will be EC2 hyphen user. If you're selecting Ubuntu, your username will be Ubuntu. Okay. Okay, scroll down. Just click on create a new pair. Okay, here you can give my hyphen key. Okay, my web server one key. Okay, done. Okay, leave it as the keeper type as RSA and .pem. Okay, so we are using SSH model only. So .pem is fine. And click on create keeper. Okay, so the net now your keeper has been downloaded to your downloads folder. Okay, you can click on that folder symbol and you can show them where it was located. Okay, in your downloads folder, it will be automatically downloaded to the particular folder. Okay, so go back to your EC2 console. Okay, so network settings is a very big topic that you will be going to know in your upcoming classes. Okay, so VPC, subnets, route tables, internet gateway, NAT gateway, and then how will you associate things? How will you calculate subnet calculations? What is CIDR range? So these things you will be learning in your upcoming classes. Okay, now you don't worry about anything. You can leave it as the default settings. You can scroll down. Yeah, you can see here you will be having your configure storage. Okay, so if you want to give more storage to your system, you can increase to 12 GB, 16 GB, like that. So 8 GB is fine here, so we are just going with that particular volume. Okay, what is EBS here means you will be having a so in general, our system will be having hard disk, right? So hard disk will be a storage capacity system for our laptop or our PC. So like that, EBS is like a hard disk for your virtual machine. Okay, for your EC2 instance. Scroll down. Okay, now click on launch instance. Okay, just click on instances. Click on the blue icon. Yeah, instances. Okay, here you can see your EC2 instance name, my web server, and then this is what your instance ID. So whatever the resources you will be creating in AWS, you will be getting an unique ID for your services, okay, for your resources. So how employee will have an employee ID, like that each and every resources in AWS will have a unique ID for its purpose, okay. So every time you will be not going to enter the name. So sometimes you will be have see here you have my web server 1, another one is my web server 2. If you have some confusion and you go and click on web server 2 means it is running in another project, right? So every time if you click on and or using your instance ID, you will be not end up with any confusions or misconfigurations. Okay, so just click on scroll to left. Okay, click on that checkbox, click on the checkbox. You can able to view the details of your EC2 instance, a very detailed configurations, what you have been clicked, everything will be shown down. Okay, scroll down. So you have your instance ID, your public IP address. So with what is the purpose of your public IP address is you will be going to log in your EC2 instance only with the help of your public IP address. Okay, so you will be having a private IP address on your right, and then scroll down. You will be having your DNS URL, and then your instance state is running. So instance state is nothing but if your instance is running or it is still in initializing stage, or it's stopped or it is terminated, each and everything you can able to see on your instance state. Okay. Okay, now scroll up, just copy the public IP address. Yeah, just click on that. Yeah. Now open your Git bash. You're going to connect your EC2 instance from your Git bash. Okay. And you're going to view your public IP on the EC2 instance. I told you, right? So where is your private IP that have been downloaded in your downloads folder? Okay. But we doesn't have any public key right now. So we have private key which is named as my web server one. Sorry. Yeah, my web server one key, right? So that private keys public key will be copied and stored on your EC2 instance. Okay, so now we are going to see that copied public address in your, copied public key on your EC2 instance. Okay, so just connect to your EC2 instance. Okay, the main thing is where is your key located on that particular folder only. You have to go and just log into your EC2 instance. For example, where is your .pem key pair file is located here? So it is in downloads folder, right?
Yes,
It,
Soumya, sorry, it is in download folder.
yeah, great. So you have to navigate to the particular folder, and then only you have to log into your EC2 instance. Okay. See, I'll show you now. You just give your give the this command is used to log in into your EC2 instance. Okay. So just type the command SSH space -i space my. Okay, just use tab. So it is not working here. Okay, you can just give the full name also. My web server 1 key. So you have to give the full name. Okay. Then you have to give your username. So what is your username here? You're using Amazon Linux operating system. So your username will be ec2-user space ec2-user at the rate of your public IP address. Use the @ symbol. Okay, then go to your Git AWS console and just copy your public IP address. You should not give a control V or like that thing. Okay, you can just use your right click. Okay, enter. Okay, what is the warning here? Identity file my web server 1 key not accessible. What is the exact reason? You have no file or directory in this particular folder. Okay, you can give S, but it will not be connecting. Okay, just give S and enter. Okay, what is the permission denied? Now where is your key is located? Your key is located in downloads folder. Okay, now navigate to downloads folder. You don't want to copy the path, you can just use the Linux commands here. Okay, because okay, cd space downloads DOW and then tab, enter. Okay, now use up arrow. Yeah, enter. Okay, use up arrow. Remove the my web server 1 key. Okay, remove that. Okay, now type my and then use tab. Okay, my and then tab. Okay, you have two things. Okay, use my hyphen and then tab. Okay, now give enter. Okay, now you have connected into your AC2 instance. Okay, now you got the point. If you, where is your key pair located, that particular folder only you have to go. You have to navigate to the particular folder, and then only you can able to log into your EC2 instance. Is that clear, guys? Okay, so here you can, yeah, S Srinivas.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, okay. So here you can how we just log in into the EC2 instance by putting our private key as a password, and we are just logging into that. But you didn't give anything like your public key, or you didn't use your username like that. You not give that particular things. So I told you before itself, your public key will be stored on your host machine, or which machine you're going to connect to. Okay, which machine you're going to connect, that machine will hold your public key, and in your hand you will be having your private key only. Okay, so once the public key matches with the private key, then only it will able you it will allow you to log in into the EC2 instance, allow to log in into the particular virtual machine. Okay, now put cat space. Now we are going to view your public key here. Okay, cat space tilt slash dot ssh slash AU and then tab. Okay, enter. So guys, this is what your public key. Okay, you didn't copy your public key, but how it is being copied here? Because once you created a private key, that particular public key will be go and just copied inside the EC2 instance. Okay, is that clear, guys? Srinivas, can you be loud?
This information should be under the SSH folder only, right? The
Yeah, you
authorization
can
keys.
see that. Yeah, I'll show you that. You put ls, just list the files. You cannot see any files here because we didn't create any files in this folder, in this particular virtual machine. Okay. Now put ls space hyphen al. So hyphen al will list all your hidden files. Okay. So enter. It will show your files, and then it will also show your hidden files. So exactly all the files you can able to list on the particular command called ls hyphen al. So here you can see .ssh file. Okay. Just navigate to the SSH file, cd space .ssh tab. Enter. Now give ls. You can see the authorized keys here. Okay, enter. So what is here? Your authorized keys have been stored inside your .ssh hidden file. Okay. So here you can just go and use your cat symbol. You can view that. Just put cat and then just select the authorized keys. Yeah, okay, enter. Okay, so here you can see the public key again. Okay, guys, so this is how your private key and public key had the handshaken method, and once the cryptographic algorithm matches, once your key public key and private key matches, you can able to log in into your EC2 instance. Okay, so that's all for today. I want to share you with the things and the very basic things how the EC2 instance is actually getting the connection, and why you are having have been creating the SSH keys and then your secret and access keys. So these things that you want to communicate with your local to remote service, you are using that thing to communicate and get the connections between the remote server and to the local server. Okay, and then this is how everything has been connected. You will be giving your credentials, you will be giving your private key as your password, and your username like your public key will be stored onto the host server itself. Okay, clear?
Sorry, Soumya.
So actually
Hello, Soumya. Can you
yeah,
hear?
yes, Srinivas.
Whenever we created the authorizer key, we have not given any path to create here, right?
Yeah,
In
it will
that
be it will be automatically created on your .ssh file.
.sh it will be the default one, like, right?
Yeah, it's like a default one. Also, you will be creating the command, right? RSA command you have created, right? Keygen
Yeah,
hyphen T
key
RSA.
generation. Yeah.
Yeah, that
That is
that command will generate this SSH file for you. Okay.
okay. For
So inside that only you can able to create it. You can able to view your public IP address, and also you can do Control D here. Just give Control D. Your connection will be closed, and then just put here cat space tilt slash dot ssh slash, and then you can put your id underscore
trading.
id underscore. Yeah,
Or
so this is what your public sorry, this is what your private key. You just give enter. Okay, so this is what your private key, it's like a password. Okay, now you can just use your up arrow and then put dot pub on the end. Just put yeah, enter. So this is what your public key. Okay. So if you want to connect your, you have connected with .pem file, right? You can also able to connect with the this public key and private key also. So what you want to do is you want to copy this public IP and you have to put that into your EC2 instance. Okay. So once the EC2 instance has this public IP, you can log in with the particular ID underscore RSA private key also. Okay, this is another one method. So you can able to log in. So the main concept is you need public key and private key to get the EC2 instance login, and the public key will be copied and stored onto your host server or to your EC2 instance, and your private key it will be on your hand. It should be kept very secret. Okay, it is not to be shared. It should be kept very secret because that is like your password. Okay. So do you guys have any doubts or anything?
They have like machines. What will be the different one?
Your voice is breaking, Srinivas.
So if I have two servers, like
Okay.
I created a two servers in the AWS console. So
Okay.
if I get two pairs, right?
Yeah.
So then it will be
You
stored in
can,
same.
yeah, you can use the existing key pair also, or you can use the create new pair option and you can create a new key pair and you can save that on your downloads folder also.
Same like now we have
Yeah,
connected like
if
that.
you're going to create two or three servers, you want a particular keeper, you can create two to three keepers also. Or if you want to create one keeper and you want to use that particular one keeper to all of your three servers, means you can achieve that also.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I can show you that. Just go to your AWS console. Okay, click on the dashboard. In the left hand side, you can see the dashboard under EC2, right? Just click on the dashboard. Yeah. Okay, click on instances running or click on launch instance. Anything is fine. Yeah. So first, okay, just click on launch instance and then scroll down. Click on to keeper. Yeah, just select that. You can the my key will be or my web server key will be pop up here. Click on that. Okay, so if you're creating a new server and you want to use the existing keeper, means you can achieve that by clicking on this particular keeper you want to use. Okay. Or if you want to create a new pair, you can just click on that create new pair and you can create a entirely new private key for your EC2 instance.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So any doubts, guys?
Yeah, as of now, no. I have created this instance as well, but I need to practice to connect with my local ones.
Yeah, okay. So you
If
guys
anything
just
else, I
mm,
can go through this video recording, right?
yeah, I share the recording to you.
Okay. If anything else, I will ping in the group.
Yeah, sure, sure, guys.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Soumya. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye
so much.
bye.
Bye.